Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey. It has been so long since I've done a Facebook Live. I hope I can figure it out. We'll see. We've just had a lot of family things going on, and we were out of town, and just too much going on. So I know this is Tuesday, and Monday is my usual day, but I decided to go live today, and then next Monday I should be back on schedule. So we'll see how that goes. Life does tend to get in the way, doesn't it? Well, I posted this card last week or the week before. I apologize, it was a horrible picture of it because it was a little overexposed, but it's still a pretty card. It's very soft and subtle colors, but it's a shaker card. And someone asked if I would show how to do that. So we're going to make one today. Different paper, but the same design. And I'll try not to mess it up. Let's see if we can do this. So first of all, you just need a regular card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. But if you want a tall one, you know, that's fine. But this one is going to be turned this way, so I don't really like the long fold opening. Sometimes I do that, but not all the time. So a regular card base, it can be color, it can be base. This is thick basic white, whatever makes you happy. This is the paper we're going to use. It's from the Walk in the Forest. And of course the measurements on this can vary also, but I wanted a nice white border around this, and so I believe this is 3 1/4 by 5. Yeah, and then this next piece is 1/8 less than that, so it's 4 7/8 and 3 1/2, so that it gets that border. And so that will be our card front. That will be our shaker card. Now we're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is die cut this. And for this card, I used the countryside corners. You could use rectangles, you could use circles, just so long as you have something nested. It could be the banners, you know, but you want something that's a nice size. You don't want it too little, I don't think. So we're going to pick 2 of these. Let's see, I think this one, and then the one size smaller. Now, this is a little tricky, because you do have to line these up. And don't worry about it being perfect. You just do the best you can. And to hold these in place, I'm going to use the repositionable tape. Kind of look at your sides, top and bottom. And then we'll put this one inside. And you want to try to get that equal also. Let's see. I think that's pretty close. I'm going to put one more to keep it from moving. So we're going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. Because you ran this through the machine, be careful pulling your tape off. Occasionally it could rip your paper, but this tape is not super sticky, so it should be okay. And now we have our little frame. We don't need this one anymore, but we are going to need this one. And you can see that's not perfect, but nobody's going to notice it. I promise you that will be fine. So for this one, we need a window sheet. And we're going to run that through with this die. Now we sell these window sheets. If you save the sheets that you, when you get a photopolymer stamp set, you could probably use those if you clean them off real good. They do tend to have a little residue on them. But our window sheets are nice and heavy. They're thick. They're not wimpy. So now we have our window sheet, and that's this part on here. So now we're about ready to get started and put this together. Now this will get adhered to your first layer on your card. Hi Jamie, thanks for popping in. I'm glad you came even though you're having a class tonight. Now pay attention here that you're getting this on here facing the right direction. You do need to kind of just know if it doesn't have a direction, then you're okay, but this one does. This looks like I need to put a pin in here. Let's see if I can get one. Sometimes those get clogged up if you don't use them. Now we'll turn it that way. Give it just a slight little border around. You know, of course, you can have a larger border or a smaller border. That's up to you. Now this one gets adhered right there. But we do need to kind of double check that we're getting it in the right place. Do the best we can. I think that's, and that it's going in the right direction. I think that's going to work fine. Okay, so now we've got this to deal with. And so we're going to adhere our window sheet to this. This is the layer that I sometimes get ahead of myself and forget what I'm doing. But now that you'll know how I make mistakes, you won't do that. So we're going to use tear and tape. It might be a little wider than your die cut. We'll just trim it off. And I'll tell you, I had to clean my scissors last night after I made this card because it was all sticky with tape. I should try to keep one pair that you cut sticky stuff with and another pair that you cut ribbon. Now you don't want to leave any holes. You want every little edge adhered to your window sheet. Otherwise, your sequins will sneak out when people shake their card, and we don't want sneaky sequins. Oh, that stuck to my finger. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this up so I can add another piece over here. Might need a pick here. This is a little putsy, but it's really not that hard. Once you've made one, there we go. Now, of course, you know I love the shaker card for dummies, but this really is prettier to do it this way. I will say that. Now we need a little piece right there. And now we're going to see if there was any sticking out on the inside. It's okay if it's sticking out on the outside. I think that's good. And now we'll lay our window sheet on here. There's no way to get it on here perfect, but we'll do the best we can. And once you get it down, it's going to stay there, so no going back. Now that needs to all be trimmed off. So get your scissors that you don't care if they get sticky on them. And do that. And you might have to trim a little bit of window sheet off. Like right there, I can see some sticking out. It's just barely on the edge there. See how that goo gets on your scissors? You have to make sure you get it off. I think there's a little bit there. Everything else looks pretty good. Maybe just a tiny bit there. It probably won't even show, but okay. Now we've got a little more adhesive to do. This time we're going to switch to the adhesive strips. And we want to put them all around our frame again. No gaps. We don't want gaps to show. So let me get my sticky scissors again. Now, when you do this with a round image, it is a little trickier to bend this and make a circle, but you can. We used to have circles, and I still have some left, but we don't sell them anymore. I think that's a little too short, so we'll let that be the corners. Get a little piece for the corner. Now, if you don't have adhesive strips, go ahead and get some. Or if you just have dimensionals, cut some in half, and that should be enough, thin enough then to fit on here without peeking out around the edges. Now we need one more right there. Oops, and we need one over on the other side. Looks like I've got a little gap there, so we're gonna that one's probably a little better. We don't want gaps though, so we're gonna fill that in. I know they do take time, Jamie, and that's one thing we tend to be in a hurry and think, well, don't need to take the time, but I think they're kind of special. Let's see if we can get a little piece here. I don't think a sequin can get through that space. I hope not. Oops, I don't know where that one went. Flying across the room. But I think a sequin can get through there. All right, now this to me is kind of important. So just take it or leave it. You can do this or not. When you have this side here of your foam is sticky, and your sequins will get stuck up in there, and then they'll kind of look weird. So take your embossing buddy and just try to work that powder up on the edge of your foam strips so that it won't be so sticky. Now, of course, you've got powder. So you're going to want to get rid of that. So we'll take a brush and work as much of it out as we can. And then we'll get a baby wipe or wet one and wipe it out. And then, so our powder won't be in there. Now that needs to dry for a minute. So while it's drying, let's go ahead and do our embellishment. I decided this is that goes with the Beary Christmas, and so I did a tree. I went ahead and heat embossed it just to save time. It's just heat embossed white on pretty peacock, and I think it goes well with this tree paper. But you could do the polar bear punch out. You just want some sort of embellishment. At least I did. It could be like on the one with the deer, I used a snowflake. And this could be the bear, a snowflake, a tree. I thought those pretty big trees from the other Christmas tree set, but I tried it and it was too big. So I couldn't use it. It was kind of overpowered the front of the card. Yeah, this one you do have to fussy cut, but it's pretty easy. And that will go over to the side there. Okay, let's see. We can go ahead and put this on our card front also while we're waiting on our acetate to dry. And that gives us, if I wanted to, I could put an extra layer of Pool Party. I was looking at this and I thought the tree could be Pool Party, but I had already done the pretty peacock tree, so, or you could do two trees, one Pool Party and one pretty peacock, and kind of layer them. Lots of ways we could do this. Let's see how we're doing here. This looks pretty good. It's got something there. It's on the other side. You just don't want that powder, too much powder showing there. You want your window clear. I'm going to wipe it one more time while we're working and it can get dry. Now I'm going to do a sentiment on here. Just the Merry Christmas from this set. Let's see if I know which direction I want. It's not really a direction. And it's a small, narrow Merry Christmas, so we can put it on that little scrap and hope that we don't do it crooked. But we have lots of these scraps, so we can always get another one. Pretty good, huh? And it's going to go behind our tree, so we'll give it a little tail there, and then I'm going to use the banner punch to give it a little fish tail. And we'll slide that in there, line it up. That looks cute. Okay, so that's going to go around the bottom there. All right. Now we need to get our shakes in here. And I'm going to use some sequins. You can use sequins. You could use, if you had little lace pearls, or I have been using some of these seed beads. I got these at a yard sale. They last forever. So you could use some of those. But these are some subtle shimmer sequins that I suppose we sold those a while back. I don't know. They're white, clear, and silver in different sizes. So I think that goes well for snow. Now you have to pile them in this space. So just grab a bunch of them, and you don't want too many because they can get too thick. But you want enough that it makes it look like a nice shaker card. And then we'll get all those extra pieces later. Put them back in here. And then I thought, since this paper had that pretty peacock, these loose frosted dots, they're from the Irresistible bundle. And I thought, well, we'll pull out a couple of those. And the reason I use some of these is these sequins, you see that they have static electricity. And when you add a bead or something in there, it kind of breaks up that static electricity, and it helps them be a little more shaky on your shaker card, if that makes sense. So your sequins don't all stick together quite so much. Oh, that's a pink one. I don't think we want that pink one in here. It'd be one lonely, find the pink one. I'll add about 5 or 6 of these. Now this is silly. It'd be easier just to pick out some pearls, but I wanted the color. Let's do one more, one of the small ones. You want to keep them in that center space. Cover these up, because if I tip them over, they'll be everywhere. Now we're ready to add our window. So we'll pull our tape off. You see why you can't have any escape routes for your sequins, because they'll sneak out there if you're not careful. I think this is going to be so cute. You have to make sure you got them all. Now you need to make sure you've got this going in the right direction, and you're going to cover up that cutout area. Now you've got that little 3D look there, and now we can shake our card. Isn't that cute? And we can put our tree on here. But we need to put our sentiment on here first so that we get it in the right place. Hi, Treasure. I'm glad you're here. Don't worry, you can always start over at the beginning in a little while. And I got your email. I will answer you today, I hope. You can decide how that you want that there, but I'm going to put that there. We'll put this on with some, you know, I don't think it needs dimensionals. I think we'll just put it on with some glue, and it's going to go right on that part of your frame, and I can put a little there. Now I might sneak one dimensional under there. Let's get it out so it will stay level. I think I can sneak that in there with these tweezers. Yeah, that'll help. Now, I thought this tree needed some Winko Stella, so I'm just going to put it on the sides there. It gives it a little frosty look. You know, I'll put Winko Stella on just about anything, because I like sparkle. And we'll put a couple of our sequins on there too. So let's just decorate our tree. I think we have enough sequins that jumped out of that box. We can get them on there. Of course, they'll have to dry a little bit. Ooh, I could have used those adhesive ones that, oh, that one just went flying, didn't it? That we have this time, the natural adhesive sequins. Shoot. Didn't think about that. But for shaker cards, just anything you have will work. I need one more silver one. You know, we have the not sequins, but the little flowers that we have, the loose flowers. And I think that would look so cute to have flowers inside. Now let's decorate our inside. So I pulled a greeting from The Brightest Glow, because I thought the All is Merry and Bright would go well with that. And we'll do that with Pool Party. That's if I can find it. Oh, here it is. It's a red rubber I was looking for. Clear. So I want to put one of the Christmas trees over here. So we'll stamp our sentiment over here. It's a little crooked, but you'll have to forgive me. So here's our tree. I've yet to decide, is it easier to do the tree first or the inside first? You practice and decide. And there we go. We've got our shaker card. Isn't that cute? So I hope that helps you, for those of you that have not made one like this before. And you can see how we put that together. Look, I think actually this one uses the larger, die, but this looks cute with the smaller dies. It does, it uses one extra, but both of them work, so however you choose to do it, it's fine. So thanks for joining me today, and I will be back Monday with a new card for you. Talk to you later. Bye.